Duck Hodges is not walking through that door. Steelers fans are rejoicing. Big Ben is back, and so are the expectations for the Steelers. Win total 9 at Caesars Sportsbook, 25-1 to win it all. 9 to win the conference, plus 475 to win the division. Obviously, you have the Browns and the odds-on favorite in the AFC North in the Ravens. Minus $135 to make the playoffs, so they are favored to go back to the postseason now that Big Ben is back as well. I am Doug Kazarian alongside Joe Fortenbaugh and Tyler Fulgham. Fellas, the narrative is pretty simple. Big Ben's back, so that means they're going to be so much better than 8-8 they were a year ago with the replacement QBs. Is it that simple?
I'm buying into that, but that's only part of the reason. If Mike Tomlin was able to get 8 wins out of this group last year with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, who are not starting quarterbacks in the National Football League, they're going to be better with Ben Roethlisberger. Now, he's no spring chicken, so the analysis can't end there. The key is 2 points. 1, the defense. 1st in sacks last season, 5th in total defense, 6th in scoring defense. They're talented, they're versatile, they're deep, they're loaded, they're fast. Every level of that defense brings Pro Bowl talent to the equation. Number 2, look at the schedule. 1 road back-to-back all year. It's at Buffalo and at Cincinnati. That's nothing. That's a helicopter ride down the strip. That's a handful of minutes. The farthest they're going to go is Dallas. They're never going to the Mountain Time Zone. They're never going to the Pacific Time Zone. Pittsburgh over 9's the play for me, Doug.
All right, and we've said this a bunch. It is a new rule this year, an extra wildcard team in each conference. Tyler, you're circling some props here.
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be the one who benefits most from a healthy Ben Roethlisberger returning. So with his prop set at 1,084 yards and a half, I'm going over as long as Ben Roethlisberger stays healthy for 14, 15, 16 games. Let's go back to 2018, guys, the last time Juju had number 7 under center. He accounted for more than 1,400 receiving yards that year. Big Ben led the league in pass attempts, and oh yeah, Juju was sharing targets with Antonio Brown during that season. Of course, AB84 is long gone. He is now the alpha there, and if Ben Roethlisberger is healthy, Juju should smash this over of 1,084 and a hook. I'm buying what you're selling, Joe, on the Pittsburgh Steelers. You were talking a lot about their defense, but you think their offense can be potent enough for Juju to clear this threshold?
Here's what I worry about. 2 years ago, Juju Smith-Schuster put up insane numbers like you were talking about, but all the attention was going to Antonio Brown. He was not dealing with the best corners. He was not the focal point of the Pittsburgh offense when you were game planning for them each week. Now, we look at what happened last year and we pin it on the quarterbacks. We say there was a big drop-off because of that. How much of it was because of the quarterback play and how much of it was because there was no Antonio Brown to command the defensive attention? That's the answer we need to get when we start talking about this offense. But I'm with you. I think it's a big bounce back year for Juju with Ben Roethlisberger under center versus the other guys who weren't nearly as confident.
It's a great question. I'm banking on 19 being capable to handle now his 4th year in the league, those Jalen Ramseys, those Stephon Gilmores.
Now's the time.
And the season you referenced was 1,400. Obviously, we just need them to get to about 1,100 this year. I like them week 1. They're at the Giants on Monday Night Football. Look, they know what happened with the quarterback situation last year. They're all in on this season. I think they come out of the gate strong. No crowd, obviously, for the Giants at home, or at least some fans. But to me, the Giants are going to be a work in progress. They address their offensive line in the draft. I think they'll do some things. They'll be frisky a little bit on offense, but their defense still has major issues. And I just trust the Steelers to go in there and cover the 3.5. Joe, you and I were talking. Obviously, it's an island game, Monday Night Football. Come Monday, then that opening weekend, I think 3.5 is going to be way off the board.
Yeah, lay it now. First of all, Pittsburgh has an incredible following, so you know the Pittsburgh bettors are going to be all over this game. You know the public's going to be all over this game because they're more willing to trust the Steelers than they will be the Giants based on what they saw last season. Joe Judge, rookie head coach, first game, he's going up against the savvy veteran in Mike Tomlin, a very difficult opponent. No crowd to lean on, like you mentioned, Doug. Overall, I think there are a lot of metrics pointing to the Giants having a bounce back this year, getting a little bit better. Daniel Jones in year 2. They were dead last in turnover differential last year, but it's not going to happen in week 1 against the veteran Steelers.
And we see the defensive woes. Even if they do get going a little bit, that Giants offense, I think the Steelers can cover that 3.5. So by now, if you are on that Pittsburgh side, we showed the graphic of the Giants defense, but you're more focused on the offense.
I'm focused on the offense, and I found some pretty good value in Saquon Barkley to lead the NFL in rushing yards in 2020, 11-1. Listen, there's really only a handful of guys who can lead the NFL in rushing yards. Pretty much 80% of the league is running back by committee. There's only a handful of teams that have an alpha 3-down back who gets every single carry, and Saquon Barkley certainly fits that bill. We know he was banged up last year, but when healthy, he may be the most talented running back pound for pound in the entire NFL. And now that Jason Garrett is his offensive coordinator, let's go back to what Garrett did for Ezekiel Elliott his 4 years in Dallas. He led the league in rushing attempts and rushing yards twice, and he led the league in rushing yards per game 3 times in those 4 years. So Jason Garrett knows how to use a workhorse back. Zeke and Saquon right there in terms of talent. If Jason Garrett uses Saquon like Zeke, I love that value because Saquon will be on the field pretty much every play.
Guy's name should be Saquon. I'm trying to tackle him. He's going to knock your head off in the next Tuesday.
Ooh, I can get going on that 11-1. I get behind that one as well.
Well, you should wear shorter inseams when you got Saquon Barkley thighs. You got to show off the hard work there.
We'll leave it on that note. Fellas, good to be with you, and we'll have a full show when we return in our usual time slot beginning September 8th on ESPN2, 6 Eastern.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.